I guess before I get started, I'm just gonna wait to see if anybody else gonna come in. My Renaissance grandmother, I thank you for stopping by. Hanifa, now it's not showing that you a moderator. Nope, you're not a moderator, so I didn't think I did it right. I don't think I did it right. So I got to try to figure out how to set it up to make you a moderator. I'm new to StreamYard, so I don't really know what I'm doing. But I know J3 told me I had to go in YouTube to set it up, and then on StreamYard it automatically pop up. But I'm guessing I ain't do it right, so I have to get Bio Sugar to help me set up my moderators. J3 Farms girl is one of the farmers that YouTubers I follow that lives in Georgia. And I'm quite sure my YouTube live is gonna pick up on what you saying up there. What? You supposed to be typing in the chat, not talking me through the door. Hanifa, how you fair for? I can't even pronounce your doggone name. First topic, mama. Well, I'm trying to see if anybody else gonna come in right now. Then I'll do the topic. But for those of you all that's in here already, please hit the like, share, and subscribe if you like this content. And don't you put nothing crazy, Tunk. Hey, Cato Family Farm, welcome in. I appreciate you coming in. I'm just sitting here talking back and forth to my daughter. Um, just waiting to see if a few more people gonna come in. So why you gonna put the eyes in the chat? Living out loud, welcome in. Appreciate you coming in. I'm just sitting here conversing with my daughter while we wait for a few more people to come in before I get into it. Hey, Drills, welcome in. I appreciate you. Drill, was you participating in Planter Garden TV challenge? Because I've been watching everybody else's videos, so I don't know if you did you one or was you participating in the herb challenge? How everybody doing today? You got anything going on today? Are y'all planning anything today? Drill, I'm gonna go and check your video off once I get off my live, so I can make sure I put my thumbs up and my share. Kato family says she just trying to grow some food. You and me both. I'm trying to get some land so I can grow some food. I done bought about 500 packs of seeds already, but I ain't got nowhere to plant them yet. So just as soon as I can get somewhere to plant them, I'm be ready. I'm gonna be ready. So I was just sitting here waiting on a few more people to see if they coming in. But if anybody wants to come up on the live with me, I already dropped the link. You can just stroll up and click on it. Yeah. Did you how's y'all weather? We got a little snow today up here in Indiana. Temperature dropped real good. Drill, no problem. I try to support everybody. Regardless if my channel is new and I'm just trying to figure out how to do this YouTube thing, I don't have no problem with supporting people because I learned so much from you all. Y'all are doing things that I'm not doing yet. So the more I watch you, the better I'll learn when when it's time for me to actually start growing my own garden. So, yeah, I'm gonna support you guys no matter what. But I do appreciate you all coming over here on me and Mackenzie's channel. Mackenzie's in the front. She would have been in here to say hello, but I thought to up there to the front. So yeah. I had just got off of African Dreamer and Led's channel. Kato says, I'm about to go help set up for a chicken processing day for my daughter, FFA chapter. Oh, that sounds interesting. That's something I'm interested in doing, dispatching chickens. But I'm going to the Homesteaders of America conference in October in Virginia this year, and they had that workshop as well. But they also had a workshop for beekeeping, and so I had to figure out which one I wanted to do: the chicken dispatch workshop or the beekeeping. So I opted out to do the beekeeping first. And hopefully next year, if the Lord's will, if I get a chance to go again, I'll take up the chicken dispatching workshop. But that sounds like it's gonna be interesting. Drill said it's warm here in Texas. Yesterday it was cold. Yeah, I went out Uber this morning and baby, that wind was blowing. I was like, do I really want to go out here and fight this wind? And then I was out there and it started snowing and flurrying and all kinds of stuff. Living Out Loud said, I put some seeds in the ground. Now I got to sit down and recover after preparing two beds. I'm tired. Well, I can't say I know how you feel living out loud, but I can only imagine. Work is work. So when you do it, it does make you tired. Drill's Healing Garden says, that's awesome. About to head out into the garden to water and fertilize the trees. So I'll be in the bushes listening. I sure appreciate you, Drills, for coming in and listening. Because sometimes I'll be in the bushes too, listening to people. I'll come in initially and speak to everybody to let them know I am in the bushes. So yeah, I appreciate you though. I really do. Um, I'm guessing I can go on and talk about the topic. I'm give it one more minute or 1 or 2 more minutes to see if anybody else is gonna come in, and then I'll start with the topic. But other than that, today it's been an eventful day because I got out there and started Ubering. The sky were all cloudy and stuff. So after picking up about 6 or 7 people, I started getting sleepy, and I was like, "Oh no, this can't work. I got to get ready to go home." So I ended up stopping. Yep, I'm a man. I just have my babies in my pee because they help me out a lot. I'm sorry, Kato. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, brother. I appreciate you, though. I do appreciate you. Hey, Miss Netta, welcome in. I sure appreciate seeing you here on this side of the town. How you doing, Miss Netta? Are you planning anything today? Is your weather down there in Florida okay today? We in East Central Oklahoma. Yeah, I'm here in Indiana. Hopefully this year I'll be relocating to Georgia. So that's the plan. I'm guessing you saying welcome, Miss Netta, for the W. Yeah, I've never been to Oklahoma. You been in the yard all day, Miss Netta? Did you plan anything interesting? Oh, are you doing the planters garden TV challenge? Are you doing the herbal challenge? If you are, did you drop a video yet? Hey, now, okay, great. Yeah, I've been trying to catch up with everybody that put out a video. I know Hands in the Dirt put out one. Bougie Prepper put out one, and Drill just told me she put out one. So once we get through with my live today, I'm gonna go and check out her video and make sure I share and like it. I try to give all the thumbs up as possible. And that's pretty much it. But the topic that I'm doing today is taking a trip down memory lane, going back. Oh, Miss Netta, I bet that's awesome. Did you put a video up on that? Your herb wall? Oh, you just put it up, but did you put a video out of it? I would like to see that. That sounds interesting. It's nice here, Zone 7 AB. Cato family. I'm learning about the zones. So is that more like, so here we get more cool months than winter months? Is that something like that? I thought J3 was gonna be here today. I was trying to show him something. He had suggested I get a book, so I was gonna show him the book, but I'll show it to y'all in a few minutes. So the topic for today is taking a trip down memory lane for those of you all who are watching now and those of you all going to watch the replay. And the reason why I decided to do this because yesterday when I was doing a video, me and J3 and Hands in the Dirt, they were on my live and we were talking about olden days, old times, memories of some of the things that we went through when we were coming up. So I got some questions that I want to ask. You can join in with me. I'm gonna try my best to answer them to my memory because I'll be 48 in May. So sometimes I can't remember, sometimes I can. So I call myself having some timers. But I can show y'all this book. J3 had told me to get beekeeping for dummies, but I actually found beekeeping for beginners. So if y'all are interested in beekeeping, I ended up getting this book. You're welcome, Miss Netta. Yeah, it's about how many grow days and temps, I guess. Yeah, see, I'm still learning about the zone thing. So I guess once I can get more familiar with and start actually planting me a garden and seeing what the zone or the hardness zone is, then I'll probably be more familiar with the terms. Because when y'all say certain things, I'd be like, it's time for me to write this down and then ask a question. So, how many of y'all do bees? Do any of y'all have like honeybees that you all do? Yes, Miss Netta, we know. We know you in a nice zone that you can pretty much grow a lot of stuff. Ooh, but I don't know. No, you don't grow bees. I don't know. I think Georgia zone would be 8 something, but I know here in Indiana it's 5 or 6. I googled that. So I don't know exactly which one it is because I'm in Greenwood, Indiana. So I don't know exactly which zone I'm in. And really don't it really don't matter to me because I ain't trying to grow nothing here no way. So and I can't grow nothing no way because I'm in an apartment. And Cato's family said I want some bees but don't have the space yet. Yeah, I know they said you gotta have a nice amount of space if you want to get honeybees. So our pest specialist series, which is the pits. Is that everywhere or is that just in Florida? Because I remember T Nog talking about cicadas and some other bugs that she were talking about on her live. And I really ain't did too much research about what's going on in Indiana because I'm not really concerned about growing here. My concern is gonna be when I get to Georgia. Yeah. So But let's get into the topic. Um, Taking a trip down memory lane. And the first question is going to be, what is one of the greatest lessons your mother, father, or whoever raised you has taught you? And it actually sticks with you. And if you got children, it's something that you pass along to them. Well, the answer to mine is I lived with my mom and my grandparents because my mom was young when she had me. So my grandparents were played a role when I lived with them. And my grandfather and grandmother taught me a lot because they were from the country. And whew, it's so many lessons. But the one thing that my grandfather you always used to say is you cannot have anything unless you work for it. Nobody's going to give you anything. You got to get out there and earn it for yourself. Miss Nettie, yours taught you gardening. Yeah, my grandmother and them had a garden, but baby, I was not interested in gardening when I was younger. I was a tomboy. I liked to climb trees and play football and jump off of houses and stuff like that. So I wasn't interested in doing no garden. Now, one thing she did have us do was learning how to shore peas and all that type of stuff. I ain't like that at all. I guess it was taken from my time of playing outside, and she wanted me to shove peas and stuff. I ain't like doing that. But now that I'm older, it's just something that I want to learn how to do. Living Out Loud said, lesson learned. Say what you mean what you say. Facts. Facts. It can't be no other way. Drill said to be respectful to others, regardless if they ain't respectful for to you. Because baby, sometimes they can push a button and you have to remember them lessons that your parents and your grandparents taught you. Because baby, it ain't easy in this world today. Never understand how important it was until now that I'm 50. You right, Miss Netta. Because the stuff that we getting in the stores now, it ain't food. And sometimes I'll go a day or so without even eating because I'm already knowing what we consuming ain't what we supposed to be consuming. So to learn how to grow your own groceries, I think everybody should know that. Everybody should want to know how to grow your own food, how to grow your own herbs, how to raise your own animals that you eat. So I think everybody need to know that type of thing. Cato Family Farm said, Daddy used to tell me, don't worry about whatever everybody else is doing. Just keep on working. Facts. Yeah, my granddaddy stayed saying that, man, you're not going to have nothing or get nothing if you don't get out there and work for it. So that was a valuable lesson that stayed with me. And I used to work all the time. And now I'm at a point that I used to just go to work, and then come home. Never had a life, never went on vacation like I'm supposed to or enjoy things. Barely traveled, barely know anything about the United States because I went to work and I went home. And I felt that's all I needed to do. So, um, Cato says, that taught me how to make a way for myself and my family. And you did the right thing. You really did because ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. If you sitting there waiting on somebody else to take care of you and your family, you sadly mistaken. Yep. So the number two question is, what was the most memorable birthday gift you received as a child? Now, I can't remember that far back when I was a kid. I think the farthest I remember when I was 10. And I honestly don't remember I can't even remember the birthday party. The only thing I remember that made me happy was when my cousin came home. He had gave me some money for my birthday, and I went down the street because I wanted to go to the candle light. And the candy man, Mr. Miller, used to sell Suzy Q's. And he knew I loved Suzy Q's. So I used to go, I took the money that he gave me and went down the street to get me a Suzy Q. Came home and sat down and started eating it. Somebody actually took a picture of me doing that. Netta said her 16th birthday party. Now I didn't have no sweet 16th birthday party. 16, I was, where was I? Not partying. I had to get my first job. My first job was at a church in the church nursery. So, but yeah, never had a sweet 16 party. But the best gift was when my cousin gave me that money to go get me a Suzy Q, and then they actually took a picture of me eating it. Said Suzy Q. Now they don't even make Suzy Q's no more. And I'm like, wow. But yeah, it's a memorable birthday. But I did throw me a 35th birthday party, and it was a Hawaiian luau. And one thing that I can't forget about that is the party was nice. We had a blast. But my ex-boyfriend, he got himself intoxicated and got my van stuck in the driveway. So in the mud, in the grass. So I'm like, oh Lord, how we gonna get this out? Literally, they ended up getting the van out the grass, but they tore the grass up trying to get it out. But that was the only memorable thing that was on that birthday party. But everything else was fine. The dancing, the food, everything was great for that one. But far as a little kid's birthday party, I really can't remember that far. Baby, we passed out flowers. My stepdad was so pissed off. All the people there, memories. And I'm quite sure. Do you still have photos, Miss Netta? Do you still have photos of your sweet 16? Because when I go down to my grandmother's house, she has those old photo album books with some of the black and white pictures. And I sit down and just look at those photos and I be like, wow, this was a long time ago. And I was born in 76. So the pictures that she had before me, they were even older. And they was of my aunties and uncles. Dad was off fighting wars and mom didn't make a big deal about birthdays. Back then they made a deal about birthdays. Now I don't even really fuss about birthdays. I don't even make a big deal about birthdays because to me it's just another day God gave you to be thankful for His grace and mercy. So, Father, celebrating birthdays, I acknowledge my birthday and I am grateful, you know. But when it comes to celebrating them now, no, I don't really do many holidays neither. So, and to me, it's a waste of money. A lot of times, kids get the gifts. They ungrateful. They want to throw all the gifts in the garbage, or they didn't get what they really want. A week or two later, the gift is broken, or so. It's to be honest, I can do other things with my money than celebrating birthday, like get some more seeds. Number three, um, what was a memory that will always be in your mind from one of your summers growing up? What is something that you did in one of your summers that you will never forget, that you always will take with you? Hmm. My summers always consist of me going to my grandparents' house. So, and being out in the country, it was better than being in the city. So, but going to that ranch that my aunt took me to was a epic adventure up until I got in the lake and then the little fish incident. But other than that, Going to that ranch was a great experience for me. But going to my grandparents' house during the summer when I wasn't living with them was the best time ever. We stay outside all day. We didn't have to come in until it was time for us to go in. And now I look at the children today, kids barely go outside. And somebody always got a tablet or a cell phone glued to them. And it's like, go outside. Cato said chopping weeds out the field. That was a half mile long. Are you talking about like corn or stuff, or you just out there in the field having fun? Because back in the day, we used to ride dirt bikes, bicycles, four wheelers. We had a ball in the country. Certain things you can do in the country, you can't do in the city. And those were the times. And that's one reason why I want me some land so I can go back to doing some of the things that I did when I was younger. By me having 9 grandkids, I want them to experience some of the things that I did when I was younger. And that includes being in the country on land, being outside all day, playing in the dirt, running around in the rain, playing in mud, climbing trees. Kids don't do that now. So it's like the things that I remember when I was growing up, it's totally different than what's going on nowadays. And don't get me wrong, my granddaughter does like her tablets and her phones, but I also make her put those tablets and the phones down so she can be a kid. She likes building Legos, and I learned her how to pressure can. So, and little things, slowly but surely trying to teach her some of the things that I did when I was younger. Yeah. Living out loud says summers were awesome. Always outside. Fat. Man, them people couldn't tell us we couldn't go outside. I think you done took our soul when my mom and them say, "Oh, you can't go outside today. We got somewhere to do or go." I'm looking like, well, where we going? But mom was a heavy sleeper, so once she went to sleep, we sneak outside and hang out even longer on each other porches. Yeah, see, we didn't have to sneak out because we were the way that our my grandmother's home them was made in the country. We were in a subdivision down in the country. Their backyards were so big, and all the neighbors always came to my grandparents in them house because my grandmother was the candy lady and she sold freeze cups. Some of the best freeze cups there is, and she still sells them. So I can't wait to go down there in March for her 92th birthday, and I'm most definitely gonna give me a freeze cup. And that right there itself bring back memories. How many of y'all ever had a freeze cup? Or so I think some people call them snowballs. It might be called something else. We had to chop 2 rolls before we could go. Never said, I remember playing, never going home for lunch, just eating fruit from trees, sucking honey from her biscuits, and drinking from the water hose. Yeah, and see, we used to do the water hose thing too, Netta. But my grandfather worked for the school. He was a building engineer. And he got one of those water fountains that you have at school and put on the back of his house. So we had cold water every day. We didn't even have to drink at the water fountain, at the water hose no more. But we never did want to go in the house. The only time we went in the house if we had to use the bathroom. And then sometimes we didn't want to go in and do that. You know how they used to say, as long as you got some tissue, you better go behind the tree or the bush and squat. Sometimes we used to do that too. So it was my childhood. It brings back a whole lot of memory just sitting here thinking about it. That listening to the community of gardeners and the people that's homesteading already, that's value. It's priceless. And you can't get that now because parents are not really teaching their children that way of life as what we did when we grew up. They want to just give them a cell phone and let the cell phone or the tablet raise them. So I've been doing a whole lot of soul searching over this past year of everything that happened to me last year. Yeah, my mind frame has really changed. And I really want to leave something for my grandkids if something happened to me. My children and grandchildren. Cow petty fights. Cow patty fights. What is a cow patty fight, Kato? I ain't never heard that term. But I do appreciate you all um hanging in with me. I got a few more questions. I didn't have but eight, and because I didn't really want to be on here live long, and I just wanted us to just go back down memory lane to just think of some of the things that made us happy versus some of the things that we still do. Some of the things that we did when we were younger, we still incorporated because usually the time I used to tell my mom and them all the time, "Oh, I can't wait till I'm get grown so I can go and get my own. I can go and get my own." Not realizing have okay, I get it, Kato. I get it. Not realizing the things that they used to do is the things that I do now. So I get it. I get why they were strict. I get why they were so hard because they actually loved us and they wanted us to be better than what they were when they was coming up. So number 4 is what was the best home you lived in growing up? What did you love about it? What was the neighborhood like? Did you have any interesting neighbors? Well, the neighborhood I grew up, like I told you, it was like a community. It wasn't a big subdivision. Everybody pretty much knew everybody. If we did something, that neighbor would get on us. Then by the time we got home, our parents would get on us. So the interesting neighbor that I had, because Mr. Miller was the candy man, it was like three candy people on our street. My grandmother, Mr. Miller, and Mrs. Willis. Well, my grandmother didn't sell, Mr. Miller and Miss Willis sold. But I always used to go to Mr. Miller because Mr. Miller used to have the best stuff. Like he had real sneakers, real Twix, the big bars, not the little stuff, the real Hostess cupcakes. The man had it all. Netta said, my granny and them would kill gophers and we played with heart. It continued to beat until the sun went down. Now, I ain't never heard nobody do that with them. But I did see these people, they were standing in the parking lot, and I was wondering what they were doing. They had an armadillo, and the armadillo was turned over on his back, and they had put a beer can in the armadillo's arm like he had done died from drinking a can of beer. Now, I did see that. Hey, Tixie, welcome in. We just going back down memory lane. So basically answering questions. And this question that I just asked everybody was, what was the best home you lived in growing up? What did you love about it? What was your neighborhood like? Did you have any interesting neighbors? So that's what that question is. And we were just talking about the neighbors. Netta, yeah, I'm a country girl too. I love the country. That's why I am so ready to get land in Georgia and go back to the country because the city life ain't for me. Tampa, you are natural for this live YouTube thing. I love it. I'm trying. I'm trying to build my confidence up, TG, because get tongue tied. Try to make sure I don't say nothing that's gonna offend nobody, and sometimes my words don't come out the way I want them to, and I get tongue tied, and sometimes I stutter. So I'm trying to get the hang of it, and I was told the more that I go on here, the more I try to come up with the content to create. the better I'll get. But this topic, taking a trip down memory lane, came from Jigs and Hands in the Dirt when we were talking about when we went to the school parties. What was that one outfit that you knew you had to wear because you thought you was the bomb in it? Now y'all can answer that question if you want to. When we went to like the school sock hops or we got invited to a house party, and you know you had to wear this one outfit because you knew you was fine and you was gonna turn heads. Jag said he had a corduroy jacket with the patches and everything on it, with his jeans creased up, baby. I was laughing. And then somebody he had his little 3-inch high afro. I need to practice as well. Are you signed up for StreamYard? Because what I'm trying to sign up now for is the free version. Where I grew up was full of purdy. I stayed cussing and patting my hind. Now, where you grew up at in Florida? See, we know nothing about no purrs when I was growing up. I grew up in a small town down there in Greenwood, Mississippi. And everybody knew us and everybody knew not to play. So, whew, I don't know which grade. Oh, man. I would sign up. I just got the free version. You know, the free version allow you to have at least 4, 5, or 6 people to come up with you when you streaming. But I just got the free version right now. But if you want to upgrade, which I'm gonna have to eventually upgrade, then I'll allow my guests to be able to share their streaming to their channels. Right now they can't do it because I don't have the paid version. But when I get the paid version, then I'll be able to let everybody be able to stream. Oh, okay. Okay, now the youth in Florida. Yeah, down there in Mississippi kind of different. We ain't know nothing about none of the half of the stuff that we see today. We didn't know nothing about all that because all we did was went outside and play. Every kid knew everybody. When we got to fighting and arguing, we were back playing with each other less than 30 minutes. Nobody had beef with each other. So, you know, it was your typical people. Living Out Loud said I had a ankle length jacket that I wore that shook the jacket made everything look good. I bet it did. Do you have any pictures of it living out loud? Because when I went out to a party, my grandma didn't know how to do no hair, so I was so like, oh, what can I do to my hair? What can I do to my hair? So one day I seen somebody with a wave nouveau, and I asked them, "Can I get that?" Which was the Jerry curl that I really wanted, but by my hair being so long, it actually became a wave nouveau. So yeah, that was the best hairstyle I had back in the day until the rap came out. Then my little self had to go and get the rap, put a perm in my head for the first time. That was a mistake. But you live and you learn, and I don't think I ever would take out my locks unless they decide to fall out on their own. So, the next question was, what was one of the wildest things you did when you was in school? It could be elementary, middle, or high. What was one of the wildest things that you ever did? Nelda said, I had a white with fruit mousse on something dress. Couldn't tell me nothing. Was you a heels or a sneaker kid back then, Nelda? Did you wear your heels with your dresses, or did you have to wear just sneakers with them? Nelda said, I'll pass. I plead the fifth. Well, the wildest thing I ever did was, you know, when you go to school, you have to go to homeroom. When you go to homeroom, you count for the day. And I hope my mama ain't watching me. But oh, you wore sandals, Nelda. And the wildest thing I ever did was I went to homeroom checked in, made sure I was counted for the rest of the day, and I left school for the rest of the day. I came back when it was time to get on the school bus. To this day, my mama don't know that. So if she watches, she might know now. So I would skip classes and go hang out at the corner store. That sound about right. But I skipped class and went and hung out with my boyfriend. Hint, being a teenage mom at an early age. But I wouldn't change it because I love my daughters. And without my daughters, I wouldn't have my grandkids. So it worked out. But there was a wildest thing skipping classes, baby. And I still passed with flying colors. Do you know how you got your name? Like the name that your parents gave you? Did they ever tell you why they named you that? Tiggs said partook in some plant at a high school dance outside. Really, Tigsy? We ain't gonna say the name of that plant. Well, my name came about. My mom, she didn't name me. My grandmother's neighbor named me. So she was actually my godmother, and that's who gave me the name Pamela. And everybody has to call me Pam because I don't too much like Pamela. He's laughing at me. Yeah, so that's how I actually got my name. But then my grandmother friend, she never called me Pamela. She always called me Sweet Pea. So every time I would call my grandmother down there in Mississippi, I always asked her about Miss Dot because every time I go around Miss Dot, I always calling me Sweet Pea. She never called me Pamela or Pam. So that's how I got my name. My grandmother friend, Miss Dern, God rest her soul. That lady had the best apple trees in her yard. Oh, I could just walk from my grandmom them house over to her house and get me some apple trees. Besides the plum trees, the fig trees, and the pear trees my grandparents had, Miss Dern had the best apples. Ooh, they were so good. Yeah. So she actually gave me my name. And I got my children name. My oldest child name came from my daughter that passed. And then my two youngest children name came from a Muslim that I was dating back in the day. Living Out Loud said, my name, yes, I was named after Christ, and siblings chose my middle name. Facts. Can't go wrong with that. Facts. My dad is John, and I'm Jonetta. And my son is that Keijon? Keijon? Did I say it right, Miss Netta? Keijon? That's what Netta come from. And I like that Janetta. And did I say your son name right, Keijon or Kiljon? I don't want to butcher it. I'm not good at saying people name in that. We almost through, y'all, with the questions. What was the best game, childhood or tour you particularly remember playing with? Kill John. Okay. Kill John. I used to like playing freeze tag. Freeze tag, red light, green light, you name it. Those were the best games I used to love playing. And then those little cheerleading games. Yep, red light, green light tease you. I used to love playing red light, green light. And freeze tag, we used to say, whoo, baby, that right there boy get down. And we used to play Red Rover. You remember that game called Red Rover? Red Rover sent Pam right over, and everybody had to hold hands. So on that team, you have to run through to try to break through whoever arm you can break through. And if you break through, you get to take a team member from that team and bring over to your team. But I used to love playing Red Rover. Hide and seek. Yeah, that was a good one, living out loud. That's a neat name, Nelly. Yeah, it is. I like your son's name too. Any of y'all remember which one of y'all games that y'all really like playing? I know Living Out Loud said hide and seek, and TJ said red light and green light. Yeah, that was one of my favorites too. But I had a lot of little games, and I don't even hear kids playing those type of games. When I try to teach, y'all ever remember that little thing they used to say, twill, live, leap, tweet, tweet? Y'all remember that? Or have y'all ever played that? Yeah, my childhood memory is me talking to Jegs and Hands in the Dirt yesterday brought up a lot of memory. So, and I just wanted to go back down memory lane with you guys. That's right, Tigger. You right. They don't go outside for nothing unless you gotta tell them to take the trash out, and some of them don't even want to take the trash out. Yeah. So, but I just I don't know. I got in my feelings yesterday. So now we got two more questions, y'all. When you was a teenager, was you popular, a nerd, or you just stayed to yourself? Netta said, grew up in the projects was the best. Large groups of us doing clapping games. Miss Mary Mack, I remember that down by the back. And Twill Lil Leak. I used to play that too. And I was trying to teach my granddaughter how to do that the other day. And baby, tell me why we forgot the words, me and my daughter, because we hadn't played it in so long. Now, when I was growing up, I was a nerd in school. I wasn't popular. So the question was, when you was a teenager, was you popular or a nerd, or you just stayed to yourself? So when I started becoming a nerd to everybody, I just started staying to myself. Yep. And slide. And T just said popular and nerdy. Yeah, I ain't never been popular. So I was always to myself. Because I was a nerd. I was trying to make sure my work was done. Besides, my boyfriend didn't go to the school when I was in high school. He was out of high school. So back in Mississippi, they didn't have that law. You could be 16 years old and get married. My boyfriend was 19 when I met him. So yeah, I didn't I didn't associate with those kids in school after I became a nerd. So the last question was, were there any adults that you really looked up to or admired? Tell me a funny story about them. If you didn't hear me, I'll repeat it. Were there any adults that you really look up to or admired? Tell me a funny story about them. My grandmother, not my grandmother, but my grandfather is the one who I admired. And he died when he was 79 years old, um, um, 12 years ago. But I'm going to tell you a funny story about him in a hot second. I love the streets we had our tribe. Nettie, you don't strike me as loving those streets. But looks can't fool you now. I was quiet and stayed to myself. I'm like that now, though. I'll stay to myself. I mean, I'm not quiet, but I stay to myself. I'll go to work and I'll come home. So if I'm not doing any knitting or drawing or on YouTube looking at YouTube channels, yeah, I stay to myself. So the person that I admired the most back then or looked up to was my grandfather. And I used to look at my grandfather all the time. Like I told you, he was the building engineer at the school down there in Mississippi. And my grandfather was cheap too. And he had a couple of cars and he had his work truck. Instead of him just going up there getting gas like normal people do, he would take himself out there and take a little hose and siphon the gas out one vehicle and put it in the next vehicle. And I used to tell her one day, you know what, somebody gonna get mad at you and just light a match and you gonna just blow up. He was like, girl, that ain't how that work. I said, are you sure? Because why won't you just go get some gas from the gas station? Why you sitting there putting your health in jeopardy? But that was the funniest thing I ever saw that man do. I ain't never seen nobody siphon no gas out of no car. Nella said, when I had my baby at 31, I slowed down completely. Nella, I slowed down when I turned 18. When I had my first baby at 16 and she died at birth. Then I turned around and had another kid at 17. By the time I turned 18, I was wild. My grandmama shut it down. And she sent me something that literally stopped me in my tracks. So ever since then, I saw my grandmother ask me if I wanted them to come and get my daughter while I do what I need to do. And I told them, yeah. They came and got my daughter, and I went and got 2 jobs. It literally shut me down in my track. She sent me a newspaper clipping. The clipping was graphic, but I can't tell you right now on YouTube about it. But it had to do something with a 23-month-old. My daughter was 23 months at the time. So when my grandmother sent me that newspaper clipping, I couldn't do nothing but hug my daughter, and it was a wrap. I woke completely up. And that little newspaper clipping changed my life. So my grandparents would get my daughter, and I went to work. I stopped everything when it came to having different people around me, having different people around my children. I stopped it all. Because one thing for sure, when something happened, you can't change it. You can't get that moment back. So it woke me up. So I did this video because sometimes in life, we're so busy that we never sit down and take the chance to think about some of the things that happened in our past that made us who we are today. And going back down memory lane helps me with the situation that I'm going through. Even though I lost my home, my job, and my car last year, never got evicted a day in my life, but that situation changed last year. So now I'm at my daughter's house, which I'm grateful because if she didn't move out my house and got her own place, we would have all been in a bad situation. So I said this to say, coming across you all channels and listening to you all story and following you all has helped me a lot. Although my journey is a long process, um, I'm getting there. It's gonna take a while, and I joke a lot, I laugh a lot, but I do that to help me because deep down, when you see me smiling and laughing and giggling, I'm literally crying inside, and I don't want to bring negativity to a lot of people because you all are a positive group of people. And I get it, stuff do happen. We all go through things, but if we stick together and check on each other, like I try to get on live to see how people are doing, just to see how you doing, how your day is going. I might not can help, but I can listen. So basically, y'all have been a big help to me. And those that you all are going to the Soul Family Expo, I'll get a chance to meet you all there this year. Miss Nettie said, yeah, I knew it was time to slow down. My hubby and babies are my everything. Facts. Facts. That's the reason why I'm trying to change my lifestyle now of the things that I do. Because like I say, I have 3 daughters, I have a son-in-law, and I have 9 grandkids, and I want to be around for them. So, and getting land and having some type of foundation for them is what I need to do. It's what I need to do. Um, Other than that, I don't know what this iPad just did. but but the stars just lit up on it. TXG said, "We would never know this about you, Tampa. Your spirit is so powerful and positive. Because of this, you will surely preserve and come out on top." I pray every day, and what helps me is my granddaughter Mackenzie. Every night before we lay down and say our prayers, she always says, "Grandmother, I hope we get the land." She says it every night. And it might be small to people on the outside listening to her, but it means the world to me. Listening to a 10-year-old tell me, "Grandmother, I hope we get the land," because that's something I'm passionate about. That's something that's in my heart. I want my own homestead. I don't want it later. I want it soon. I don't want to waste money on unnecessary stuff when I can have money to go towards my dream. And my dream is to grow all my own food, to raise my own animals that we consume, and grow all the medicinal herbs to heal us. So I can just stop depending on big pharma, because that mess ain't doing nothing but killing us too. So, but I appreciate you all hanging with me and sticking with me. Uh, Again, I didn't have to have anybody come up today, so I feel a little confident about that. Listening to Led and African Dreamer earlier saying that to get on your live by yourself and not always have people up, it does help you build yourself up. So, T, you can do it too, Tiggs. Like, get up on this live and start doing your live streams. You can do it too. If you want to, I can go on there with you for your first time and how Jegs did me. Jegs got on my live for me with me for the first time. So and actually it relaxed me when he got on there. But I know tonight kind of became heavy. But going down memory lane, it does. It makes you think. It makes you wonder, is this how I want to live my life in this rabbit hole, or change it? And I drive Uber every day, so that means I do work for myself. I don't work like I need to work so I can accomplish my goals the way that I need to, but I do. I do it because I like it. And those of you all that didn't see this book and you are interested in beekeeping, here you go. No problem, Tigsy. I'm here for everybody that's here for me. And even if you're not here for me, I'm still here for you. That's just how I roll. But I appreciate you guys coming in. Tigsy, Netta, Living Out Loud, Cato family, um, the Renaissance grandmother, she came in earlier to show some love. So I want to thank her as well. My daughter, she did pop in for a while, laughing, trying to get me motivated, but I appreciate her coming in. So all of you all that did show up to support me, I appreciate you all. Those of you all that's catching the replay, I appreciate you all. So if you'll like, subscribe, and share this channel, it will help me and Mackenzie out tremendously. Y'all have a great evening and God bless. Bye.